Hello again, I'm Anna Davis and I'm back with another edition of On Farm. This is our 6th episode in association with the Royal Highland and Agricultural Society of Scotland. We're publishing this in the week that the Highland Show would have been taking place if it hadn't been cancelled, and like many of you, we're pretty sad but making the best of things. Later, we've got an in-depth interview with Marks & Spencer's Head of Agriculture, Steven Maclean. This whole episode, though, we're thinking about how you can still interact with food and farming and with the countryside in general in these days of COVID lockdown. If you live in a town or city, the only real countryside you'll probably be seeing is digitally through a screen.
Wow, well, summer's definitely arrived, and you know that when you taste your first strawberries of the season. And these ones are from Ava Berries, who have kindly delivered these to me today. And over the next 4 months, I'm going to be making some recipes with these wonderful berries.
2019 MasterChef finalist Gilmour posting a video to her Instagram in partnership with Angus Soft Fruits and Ava Berries. They are replacing live events like the Highland Show this year with this kind of online and digital experience to try to still reach customers.
These are grown just up the road, Scottish produce in Angus, and you can buy them in supermarkets, Aldi, Co-op, Morrison's, Sainsbury's.
There are lots of similar examples.
We've got people coming in from Cape Cod and hello Melanie.
This is Neil and Janet McQuiston from Kitchen Coos and Ewes in the Luce Valley near Stranraer, welcoming viewers from across the globe to their live broadcast via Facebook.
Mark Weir, Blair, is it?
From Idaho, yeah. And just across the water, County Antrim there.
Hi from rainy Doncaster.
Oh, send it here please, we're burning up, we're needing rain.
From Delaware, somebody there.
From Galashiels.
Galashiels, Charlotte.
Oh, somebody from New Jersey.
This is one of dozens of Scottish farms and food businesses that do daily Facebook Live videos through the agritourism organisation GoRural.
My name's Caroline Miller and I live on our family farm in Angus.
Caroline heads up GoRural and has overseen huge growth over lockdown of these daily Facebook Lives, a digital window into farms and food tourism businesses all over Scotland.
We didn't expect this to get so big as it has and so popular. The reason we started it off was about 10 friends of mine and myself thought we would try and cheer people up by bringing the countryside to people, especially people that were in flats with no garden. And we thought, if you can't be in the countryside just now, we would bring the countryside to you.
These black-faced sheep range out all over that hill. There's some away out the back there. And you need a dog to get them hunted back in for like a dosing, vaccinating and even shearing. So this is the come by command, going to the right.
GoRural was developed during the Scottish Enterprise Rural Leadership Programme, which I undertook in 2012. It was a campaign that 4 of us put together to encourage people from Scottish cities to come to the countryside, to make it easy for people to leave Edinburgh, Glasgow, Inverness, Aberdeen, Stirling, Perth, to come and visit the countryside and especially onto farms. People that would normally have gone to the Highland Show or an agricultural event or visited a farm for a farm tour at least can see virtually a farm every day. And we've had some amazing comments from people, you're just making me feel so much better. I can see nature for half an hour after lunch at 2:00 to just sit down with the family and watch a different farm every day.
You can see the dog doesn't get too close. He uses his eye to control them because it's important that he doesn't... Oh, and there they are. They're way through the lucky already. Neil kept that quite brief.
It's not like you're standing in a field on your own Facebook page and you just press live because it looks like a nice day and you get 10 people watching. You literally have 250 people sitting down with their coffee after their lunch wanting a performance, and you must deliver that. So I think in terms of like the skills development of the farmers, it's been phenomenal. And I think you've seen then people have gone on to do their own live tours of their farms. We've also, between 20 and 30% of our people watching are from outside the UK. We have Americans setting their alarm to tune in. We just had a comment from another lady today saying this has just totally made her whole few weeks the last few weeks really bearable.
Amazing. Yeah, that's fabulous. And I guess that's it. It's about thinking of new ways to do things. So where the Highland Show and local and regional agricultural shows would have this year provided their annual shop window and the opportunity for people to go and see how showing of animals works, learn more about livestock, learn more about machinery, learn more about the whole farming and rural process. Not able to do that this year, but you're able to fill some of that gap and give people the opportunity via social media to have that shop window and that showcase and see what goes on. And as you've said, hopefully that engagement that you really want from people will continue in their shopping habits and their support of local businesses going forward.
The Highland Show and all the other agricultural shows in Scotland, are basically an agricultural event. I'm really keen that as many people that are not in agriculture come along, and it's a great way that they can learn about what we do. It's actually bringing all these farmers into one place that then the public can engage with and get a taste of. And I think that there's definitely much more opportunity going forward to make sure that agricultural shows, including the Highland, are kind of a key part of agri-tourism and recognised as that in Scotland. But in terms of actually what, an urban person gets at an agricultural show, well, I would hope that coming to something like the Highland Show would give them a real taste of what coming onto a real farm could be, and maybe whet their appetite to maybe come and stay on a farm, or to visit a farm for a farm tour, or to go and buy direct from a farmer, go and buy their meat or their vegetables direct from a farmer.
Enormous thanks to Caroline Miller. She's so passionate about agritourism. Please do check out GoRural on Facebook. They're live most afternoons and they will definitely cheer you up and are well worth supporting. Just a reminder, in this on-farm episode, we're considering different ways that you can interact with food, farming and the countryside if you're from a town or city. Clearly, in a normal year, one very obvious way that happens is at the Highland Show. Around 2/3 of show visitors every year are not from rural or agricultural backgrounds. This includes the family we're about to hear from. They're from Cumbernauld, but they're big fans of the Highland Show. They visit every year and we've asked them to think about why that is.
My name's Diane Fraser. I'm a History and Modern Studies teacher, and this is my partner, Colin.
Hi everyone, my name's Colin Mackay. I am also a teacher. I teach religious and moral education, and this is Diane and I's daughter, Elizabeth.
Hi there, I'm Elizabeth. I'm an English student at the University of St Andrews, and well, I'm about to graduate, but I'm still an English student at the University of St Andrews.
I would say we're not rural at all. Very much a town, a new town, a 24-hour Tesco, drive-thrus, online shopping. We're townsfolk. We're not rural. No, definitely not.
We first started going because I'd heard from school children that they enjoyed it, and it was something that was on the television, and I thought, well, we might as well go and see and try this out. We're quite a unique family in the fact that our two children are 15 years apart. So finding a day out that they'll both like can be a challenge. I think Charlie was 2 the first time we went, and we've been there every year since. And it's definitely a highlight of Elizabeth finishing up school or finishing up uni, her coming home, and we all go and do that as a family. And it's something that we really enjoy.
It's so varied. There's probably things that we don't do when we're there that other families, their entire Royal Highland Show experience might be completely different to ours. So the chance to see things like chainsaw artistry, followed on by mountain bike stunts, and then go and grab a burger and listen to a ceilidh band, and then take Charlie to see the shiny tractors.
I really like Charlie having that opportunity to see that, and I think that's really good for him, really good for a young child, and being able to see him get something different out of it every year is really good, and especially because, he's gone from 2 to 5 every year. He's been there, he's seen it, and enjoyed and got something from it, and learned about where food comes from, about farming, about how important it is, looking at how animals can be well cared for, and that all being a very important part of our Scottish culture, and I think it's important that he grows up knowing that information.
Yeah, I like as well, probably talk a little bit about Charlie. Sorry, Elizabeth, you're important too. But he's small and very easily pleased. I like that it's uniquely Scottish without being draped and tartan.
And then Elizabeth likes to see goats and go and buy honey, which is her highlights. And there's shops she can go to, which always pleases teenagers and 20-somethings.
I like to visit the toy tractor emporiums as well, to be honest.
You know, outside of the goats, which I do love. I'm a big goat fan and do want to one day own goats, which I would like to say is inspired by our Royal Highland Show experience, is that it really does kind of, obviously we're a big family of like educators that are very into education, and I think that kind of coming from a world where the only time I really thought about meat and where it comes from in the farming industry is like on McDonald's when it said like 100% British beef, and I didn't really understand why anyone cared. And I think now you see the quality and the kind of culture that comes behind farming, that like as a student going into buying my own food, like it was important to me to think about these things that I'd kind of learned about the culture and think about keeping up that agricultural tradition of Scotland and of Britain. So I think that it's always good to open people's minds to other parts of the country they don't normally see, because we can drive through lots of fields and see lots of cows and say that we understand the agriculture of Scotland, but I think the only opportunity I've really got to learn anything about it is at the Royal Highland Show. We
also get to face a bit of the reality of food a little. There's the guns and ammo type places, all the knives and stuff, and of course, Charlie and I are both quite starry-eyed at some of that stuff. All the fishing gear, this idea that you hunt for food, for animals need to be deceased. I think it's important to try and deal with some of that. And the reality of meat is we like it, we want to eat it, but it used to be alive. It's good to face that, and it's a really good place to do it in a sensible and mature way.
Thanks so much to Diane, Colin and Elizabeth, and shout out to their son Charlie. The show is also a big draw for schools from all over Scotland. Here is East Kilbride teacher Alison. We've heard from her already in the series, telling us why she loves RHET, and here she is again now telling us why she brings school groups to the show.
I'm Alison Bankier and I am a home economics teacher in East Kilbride. I just want to share my passion and share my enthusiasm for the Highland Show with as many people as I possibly can. Getting just up close and personal with live animals, that's the biggest draw I think for the kids. Because they're secondary school pupils, we allow them a bit of kind of autonomy, and they get to choose where they want to go within the showground on their own, and it's always the draw, the live animals, not just to be able to see that's where their food comes from. It's also a kind of appreciation of the work and the care that farmers kind of put into every breed of animal, to see the value and the money that's involved in it as well. I think a lot of kids are kind of disconnected with it's a business. Even teachers in schools teaching it, where their food comes from, but at the end of the day, this is people's livelihoods and this is their businesses that they need the public, they need the kids, they need the consumers to be, supportive of that. So raising awareness of the business aspect of it, and the variety of the nutritionists and the feed specialists and the equipment, they're all there and they're all round about the animals, so the kids are being able to see that. At the end of every school year, I always do a little online evaluation of my course, just the kind of general questions, course content and standout things from the year. And year after year, it's always the Highland Show, it's always the trip miss, can we go again? And just all year, it's always, when can we go back? They just absolutely love it. It's just a highlight of their year.
Thank you to Alison. It's really great to hear people sharing these positive stories. Of course, another huge way people interact with the countryside, whether they think about it much or not, is through the choices they make when they go grocery shopping. So next up on OnFARM, we'll hear from Steve Maclean, who's Head of Agriculture at Highland Show sponsor Marks & Spencer's.
So there's no single reason for being at the Highland Show. It's a focal point. It's probably our biggest opportunity to contact the greatest number of people over a relatively small period of time. And of course the food hall is absolutely